Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for tuning in. This is actually the first start of a series of how I'm going to show everyone on Logic Pro, at least is what the DAW I use, of how to recreate popular songs that everyone knows and familiar with. Not too crazy, but we're going to go ahead and get dived in on one of the latest hot songs I think is popping off all the charts. Is Cardi B, Bodak Yellow. So let's get to it. So we're here in my, obviously, Logic Pro, and got my little typing board up here, which is fun. You can make some noises off that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a listen to the Bodak Yellow, and then purely for me, at least, I really like to just kind of create from scratch. You know, we're going to start from scratch and kind of hear as many things as we can and put together a quote-unquote remix that, in Logic that, you know, mimics as much as possible using at least Logic plugins from the DAW, and then maybe I might bring in a couple other presets and some sounds and things that'll really help, you know, the production in the full. So we're gonna take a listen here.
Say, little bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the scoop.
Alright, that's Bodak Yellow. From the beginning, at least, we'll try and just, because the song, you know, you listen to it, it's very repetitive, but there's a lot going on, and honestly, you know, it's one of those beats that you can just really get down to in club, bar, car, you know, wherever you're at, your room, studying music, at work. It's a dope beat for sure. I actually can't remember who creates it. It might be DJ Mustard or one of those guys, but I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna re-listen to the beginning to that melody, and we're gonna try and recreate that first. So first, when I'm starting from a project, I don't really worry about a ton of what my sound is specifically. I just want to go and get the notes written in and then tweak the sound that fits, you know, exactly what the human ear, because I just kind of go off from ear. I'm no expert in Logic, but definitely learned a lot recently. So we're just going to get started. We'll write that in, start out a MIDI, and then we'll go and just kind of go from ear. So I think it's going to be on a B. It sounds about right. We'll raise the volume a little bit. So we'll just draw this guy in. And I think, before we even go any farther, I want to set the BPM to 125. I think that's what I was getting from. There's a nice little trick tool that you can actually use on audio files when you drag them in. And it is in metering. It's the BPM counter. You just select it, and basically you play it, and it'll start to listen to there, and it already popped up. Even though I have the audio muted, the you know, the digital part of the sound, Logic is reading that, and it can tell that it's 125. So that's just always a nice little tool you can use to help, you know, have that up there and just know what your sound is. All right, let's go back to this guy. So we'll just get rid of that for now. If I need, I'll go back to it. So start in the B. So I don't think they're in that quickly consecutive order, so I'll space it out a little bit. That sounds about right. Get that snapped. Not too quick. And again, like these things, you know, are always, I'm pretty particular with where I put my notes in, but, you know, still learning rhythm and time, of course, despite my background in music. Dun. So I think we might be with that and just give it a try. So it should be a 1-2 bar times 2 consecutive kind of loop. Just slightly too quick. Just rushed it there. There you go. Then we're just going to go ahead and repaste that. We might have a 4-bar loop. There you go, guys. So that's the first part. Just play with the song, see if we're sounding good. Rush it in a little bit. See, it doesn't really matter with that because there's a splash. Let's get it queued up. Alright, that's about right. It doesn't sound even because I'm not really caring to super line it up because we want to go and make our own sound, of course. Get that out. Actually, just go and keep it, but we'll mute it for now. So next, we want to go and get those hi-hat sounds. Now, this depends on the person working in DAW, and using, the DAW drum kits that they provide are decent quality. They're production level, but I personally have an account in splice.com, which is an awesome just general computer app where it allows you to filter tons of different libraries of people who've created their sounds, and they have hi-hats, kicks, drums, and it's all offline and online access. So we're gonna go and open up Splice and see if I can find that very EQ'd hi-hat that's really hitting on every beat essentially. So up here I'll just type in hi-hat and see if we can find something. Might be too quick. Too quick. That might work. Not being super particular, but for me in this instance, I really like drawing in audio files rather than getting really technical with MIDI files, because it's just, for me, the way it's split up in terms of bars and logic, it's a little easier to do. So it sounds like it's on almost every beat. We're just gonna go from that. Just listen to it one more time. So yeah, go here. Okay, and there's a lot of splash in there, but we'll get to that. Sounds slightly off. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Just make sure I'm drawing this incorrect. So it's on every one end, one end, one end. That's kind of how I think in my head. So we'll get that out. Oops. Pretty heavy. There we go. Alright, we got a beat in the making. It's really easy. You guys just really have to just use your ear a lot of the times, and then just really understand how these productions come together. It all starts with small little things. So we start out with this melody, and then we just add on top. It's here in the very beginning. It's almost like a splash trap cymbal or something like that. Let's see if you can find it. A little too heavy. That might work. I might have to cut it down. Too heavy. I might stick to this future bass pack. It's actually pretty good. I've used it before. It's just sounds. But I'm actually gonna lower it and see what that sounds like. We need more. Okay, yeah, cool. For me, just to satisfy my ear, I'm gonna add some reverb in there. We'll do kind of smells like a spring, modern spring in there. There you go. It's good enough. And we'll just go and compress and EQ this guy. Put on the analyzer. There you go. Okay, so right now we have the building, of course. But what really gives this song that element of, I guess if you will, dope, or just that constant looping guitar-like, reverb sound, is really the loop of this guy. Right now, this sounds really stale. The classic electric piano plugin is pretty standard to work with, but I want to go and get a lot of sound out of that. So I wonder if I can maybe go into a synthesizer, see if they have something. This is really how I start out. Maybe a keyboard, leads. I don't know if they'll have anything in there. I might have to use a third-party plugin. Let's see here. Got a couple of things. Bass, chords, strings. Wonder what trance string sounds like. Let's try it. It's all about just guess and check. It's cool, but it's not the right sound I'm looking for. Okay. Let's see if I can find a third party or a regular plugin in here. Nothing. Alright, well, that's all good. We're going to just change this to Serum. I get this from Splice as well. It's just a simple monthly payment. Serum is one of the hands down best third-party synths that you're ever going to find. Massive's decent, Silent is decent, but Serum just allows you to bring in wave sounds and to tweak them to how you want and put audio sounds essentially from third-party packs and your own sounds into the synth and kind of manipulate them in any kind of way. So I love that about that. I'm going to go use this pack sound, see what we get with that. So that sounds really close, and at least for satisfaction of the video, I might stick with that. I might add some stuff to it. So let's just go and listen to it one more time, the song. So with the sound I selected, it seems like it's a higher octave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and just, for good measure, I'm going to raise it. So let's see, we start with B. I just noticed that I was slightly off. I need to be able to see. There we go. Now I'm on a B. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. So honestly, I like it. Might add some EQ on it now just to get it exactly, where we want it in the sound to mimic as much as possible. So let's go ahead and just play this guy and analyze it. Take out some highs. It's amazing what EQ can do. I might EQ it just a little bit more, but let's put some reverb on it. So it's a large space, so we want to do something really big. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. And I like the vintage lo-fi like clipping that comes off of that. Let's see how we did. The attack is almost too strong, so I'm actually going to loosen it down in the serum because it's very picky. And as you can tell in the actual song, it sounds more like a very soft synth with a lot of reverb. But it was easy to find this preset, the guitar one, because it mimics that sound like a plastic guitar almost. So this is the attack all the way up. There you go. It's a little softer, but I like it. So we're going to add space to it because it really fills out the sound. So what I like to use is stereo spreader. It mimics like a doubling vocal, essentially. That's without it. This is with it. So it just gives that extra push that I need. Doom, 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 doom. There you go. Now we're getting somewhere. So as of right now, I think I'm satisfied with the sound. I might add some more reverb to it because it's still taking, it's still taking up small amounts of space. I want it to be really. Oh. Sounds pretty close, isn't it? Huh, that almost makes it sound delayed. There we go. It was just offset. And I'll raise the attack ever so slightly. Sounds better. Now it kind of sounds not fully yet. So I'm actually gonna add some more hyper dimension to it. There we go. Okay. And this, we'll go and add just a little bit more reverb to it. And just to get a fuller sound from that crash. There you go. Okay, so let's go and listen to the song again. So there's like a really classic vintage just clap in there every 4 clicks. So I'm gonna go find a clap and then kind of EQ the crap out of it. That might work. A little trap clap. Yeah, there we go. Trap clap. That's what I like to call it. Oh, it's being dumb. There we go. So get rid of that. Okay. So there you go. Super vintage lo-fi sound. We're going to compress it and then so every 4 clicks. Oops, got ahead of myself. Man, I don't know why it does that. Sometimes, because of the latency of DAWs, they'll just not work properly sometimes when you're trying to copy and loop over. still pushing that. For me, when I'm working in these with audio files instead of MIDIs, it's all about counting. So space-wise, and then listening to that beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we add that on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on the fourth beat of every 5 count. And then we'll go ahead and just EQ, maybe use some kind of drum EQ, like treat it like a snare. And get rid of the lows we don't need. There you go. So now we're looking good. As of right now, obviously. But, okay. 1, 2, 5. Okay. And then we're going to go and copy this guy over. A lot of, hotkeys I'm using. But, so far we have this guy, double looped, really straightforward. And we'll start to get into the more detail with the sub bass and the 808s when they hit. So right there, when I was hitting that's when the sub basses and kicks hit. So I'm actually going to go listen to the song and see with my ear, hear with my ear, obviously, when the kicks really start triggering in the 808s as well. So right in that 8-bar mark, they just go crazy, and it's dope because it's almost like mimicking a house or an EDM rise with that little reverse cymbal crash that comes in, that little rise, but the boom, 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 boom. That's what triggers people, to really enjoy the song. And it's almost clever by the producer, but a reverse Cardi B vocal that's, just really mimicking that sound. But we'll do a reverse cymbal. See if we got something here. There you go. Something easy. Being as simple as possible to just mimic and not be completely like, oh, this is the perfect exact thing, but just getting that idea across. And I'll put some reverb on it because I know it's going to need that. There you go. Alright, my favorite part of all. Let's listen to it one more time. Make sure we're not missing any kicks. Okay. Kicks hit after the 8-bar count. Not a big deal. Sorry guys, I'll try and speed this up as much as possible. But it's a tutorial, to help anyone new looking to remake songs and figure out, like, oh, how did these guys do it? It's really easy. You just got to have the passion to sit down at a computer for, 30, 40 minutes and put together a beat like this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring in Serum again. Love it because it's got some awesome 808 sounds. I wonder if I have any saved. So I might put in a sub bass in there, but first I want to go ahead and get an 808. Let's see if I have any in here. 808 Party. That's that guy. There you go. So this is kind of pitched ever so slightly, but I don't, again, not being crazy specific, but we'll go and listen to this. Dun dun. So where does that come in? So I think it goes up and down like bum 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 bum, and then it just rolls basically. So it's almost triplets. Da-da-da-da. It almost sounds like it's trailing off too, so maybe it's being filtered out, but there's still a punch to it. So we'll add one more. So we'll listen to it by itself. There you go. So that's a unique count, obviously, but right now we'll go and just listen to our version of it. And there's a lot of ambiance and different kind of things that I could spend a lot more time on putting it into a true quote-unquote remake. But, you know, we'll do simple plugins and see what we have so far. I was on loop. There you go. Not bad. It's really poppy with that 808. I like deep 808s, so we're actually going to EQ a little bit out of that. So you can see it's popping up there. And then we'll pinch this down a little bit. So we'll go again. Right there. There you go. Nice, and then we'll compress it. We'll just choose a preset for bass. Bass does pretty well for subs, obviously. See that gain reduction. It's nice. It's sounding really good. So I think what it's on, it's an E, because we're working in key B, but the top note of that is E. So the sub bass, there's a rule of thumb that I'm starting to remember and learn is that in trap, the highest, if we're working in kind of a triplet or arpeggio style trap song with a constant loop melody, the highest note is always going to be reflected in the 808s and the sub bass, but obviously on a lower octave. So that's just something fun. You guys can keep that in mind and get creative with. So this changes up, of course, but it's one of those classic like boom, 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 boom. So we're gonna try and draw that in. A little too quick. It's almost delayed, like it's boom, 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 but it's one after the other. Too much delay right there. So we'll just listen to it just to make sure we're doing it right. Oh, bitch, you can. Oh, bitch, you. Say, little bitch, you. So it actually comes in a little bit delayed. So. Right there. I know I'm being really technical, but. Oh, bitch, you. Oh, bitch, you can fuck with me. So we'll just listen to it.
Oh, bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the store, I can get.
Ah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. In my head, I heard something else. But this is just one hit.
Oh, bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to.
It just goes
These
from there.
expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the store,
And then a really muffled kick. And honestly, that might be it. We'll just go kick. There's tons of kicks. I love it. So many juicy kicks. Maybe if I could type in muffled kick. How about that? There you go. Download it. Yeah, so anyway, I pay $7.99 a month for this. It's literally, they give you credits to be able to download, and every credit is like, or every sound is a credit, and you get like 160 a month, and you can get so many sounds. It's absolutely awesome. So it's like right there. Okay. Just make sure we're on it. Okay. Oops. Clicking all these guys. Well, guys, that's basically it. The hi-hat, of course, slightly changes, but I'm not going to get too technical about it. Maybe there's some like triplets that come in if we listen to it.
Oh, bitch, you can say little bitch.
Okay, so that's where the difference is. So click, 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 click. They speed up. So I know it's about.
Say little. Oh, bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is blood. Little bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the store, I can get them both. I don't wanna choose, and I'm quick, cut a nigga off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't think.
Okay, so that just essentially repeats, and we'll go ahead and listen to this one more time, guys. Let's see here. All right. So this is what we have so far, and pretty exciting. There you guys go. All right, and that is Cardi B, Bodak Yellow. It's not perfect, but the point of this is just it's more fun, and it gives you a starting point on how you can see how easy it is to make a hit single, like Cardi B, Bodak Yellow. All right, thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys for the next episode. Let me know if you guys like it in comments, if it was helpful. My name's Steven, if I haven't said that already. Thanks for tuning in. This is it'sabanger.com. And you guys have a good one. All right, bye.